For my electronic resource kit, the 6 resources that I chose are the ones that have stood out to me most during this semester and are the kinds of resources I can see myself using in the future as a teacher. The model of successful intelligences helps to identify and defer students in regards to their strengths and weaknesses to then be able to be categorized into either a creative, practical, or analytical intelligence. This theory of intelligences uses a pedagogical approach of experiential learning, having a main focus on students exploring themselves as a whole regardless of their backgrounds, using the teaching technique of metacognition as it makes students aware of their own potentials and attitudes through reflection. The difference between the categories of intelligences are described as this: analytical as logical, practical as learning by doing, and creative students as experiential. Using the successful intelligences in understanding the differences in students' abilities and strengths helps determine activities that will be most effective in accordance to their strongest intellectual ability, increasing diversity throughout classrooms. Maslow's hierarchy uses discovery learning as a pedagogical approach by stimulating students to investigate and create an understanding of themselves and their potentials. As they identify problems that could be standing in the way of them reaching their self-actualization. This resource could also be seen as problem-based learning, using the teaching method of questioning. Using this as an enhancing resource for my future teaching will allow me to present the process of achievement to my students and help my students to reach self-actualization. Creating equality between all students and becoming aware and are given the opportunity to identify and take the steps needed in order to reach their maximum potential, having a chance to broaden and enrich each child's learning experience. The pedagogical approach of Carroll's TED Talk integrates the use of e-learning and technology. By doing this, increases the range of students being able to benefit from the talk as long as they have access to a computer. The teaching method used is inquiry-based with a focus on students as a whole and their ability to investigate their own potentials. Giving students the chance to understand the concept of a growth mindset increases their confidence and abilities in their own abilities, while building on qualities such as persistence and resistance to take on challenges in their learning journeys. The TED Talk will be a beneficial strategy for teachers to help all students realize their potential with the power of yet and not giving up on students, as teaching them the right attitude can make students reach their full potential regardless of their situations. Increasing equality and diversity within the classroom, all students are given the chance to increase their mental well-being and positively contribute to their learning and educational opportunities. The character strengths test helps identify the strengths in students that will allow modifications of lesson plans for successful and equal learning opportunities in a diverse range of students. This resource will be used to improve my students' learning by enabling them to acknowledge where their qualities lie and where they're most dominant, enabling the diverse range of students to be able to identify and use their strengths in their learning styles and capabilities. The learning experience can then become more meaningful for each as an individual to benefit the classroom as a whole. Active learning is used when undertaking the VIA Personal Character Strengths Test, as students are actively discovering their own strengths and weaknesses through this test rather than just being told by the teacher what their personality traits are, with a student-centered approach as students are responsible for taking control in learning about themselves. Headspace as a resource requires students to identify and analyse their own health and mental well-being, prompting the use of critical thinking, developing new positive thought processes. Students develop the ability and are given the chance to make informed decisions for themselves, showing a student-centered approach. Giving students access to Headspace helps them reach their maximum potential, providing equality in advocating for all students and creating a supportive environment. This resource is not only beneficial for students but also teachers, and is accessible to all students, giving them the ability to make informed decisions that will help prevent mental illness and increase students to reach their full potentials. acting as a support system for the diverse range of students that schools have, being able to identify who they can confide in. By ensuring inclusive practice and equality is achieved between all students, with a focus on increasing diversity, shows the use of inclusive pedagogy. Using inquiry based teaching as students reflect and further develop an understanding to diversity and approaches used to achieve this. With the mind map that I created, it helps to recognize different methods to achieve diversity so that teachers can create a supportive and positive environment, improving students' and staff's understanding of methods to promote diversity being easy to comprehend, helping improve students' chances of success with increasing a positive and diverse classroom setting. The ways in which this resource helps create diversity between students is by teachers providing inclusive practice, developing students' interpersonal skills and consciousness of differences, understanding how to achieve diversity and inclusion in the classroom with environment that is supportive, empathetic, and ensure equal opportunities and participation between all.